have a couple of people, a lot of people missing. Is it? I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's too hot in the afternoon today. But today is, I think, the last in the series, and then we'll have a quiz. Not in this session because we have too much to cover. We'll probably, we will send out the quiz to you and to everybody, all those who have registered, and you can respond back with the answers. We'll try to keep it slightly serious, the quiz, so that you have to earn your certificate at the end of it. It won't be easy. First and foremost, I would like to discuss some of the some time ago, I think some of you would have answered a survey from dental education, and this was about the state of social media adoption by dentists in India. Now the interesting part is we've got some very fascinating results. Some of the results are interesting on expected lines, others are slightly out of line, but still interesting. It will be released as a report very soon, and all of you will get a copy of the report. But one thing interesting is that number of respondents were equal among men and women, which I find is very fascinating among dentists, especially in India. The number of social media users in India, if you look at across platforms, is heavily skewed towards the men, except Instagram, which has more women than men in India. But in case of this survey result, I think the balance was almost equal, and there were more than 100+ respondents to this survey. So despite having polling 100 people, we still came up with a 50-50 split, which is very interesting. And secondly, I think vast majority were using only Facebook, and there was very little need even ascertained for platforms like LinkedIn and blogs, which is actually which is actually a gap in the industry, if you ask me. Blogs are very important, and had we done this survey somewhere in the US or UK, you would have seen a higher percentage of people blogging among medical practitioners. Medical practitioners blogging is very high in the US as well as the UK, and certain countries like France, like Germany, like Australia, they are heavily into blogging. But in India, I think the awareness is slightly lower, and that's why the blogging community is among medical practitioners is very small. But very interesting survey. If any of you answered the survey, thanks a lot for doing that, and you will get the full result in a couple of weeks. So today's session is divided into two halves, three halves actually. One half is I'll be taking questions again, right from the beginning till the end. Anything that I discussed in the past, any questions that you have, any experiments that you would have done over a period of time during this course, and you have any questions on that, I will be taking them. We'll be taking questions as we go along also. The first academic half of this session will be on blogging. We'll try to figure out the state of blogging in India, and I'll be sharing some best practices when it comes to blogging. If you are interested in blogging, what are the things you should look at? What are the other platforms you can look at? Things like that. The second half of this session will be essentially on how to create more awareness with your existing content. How to use your content. We've discussed a few things about pictures, about videos, about adding humor, but some tricks on how you can increase more awareness, how you can create more awareness across the platform. So we'll be experimenting with some of them. And as always, feel free to ask me any questions, and let's get started. So this presentation is actually not done by me. This was done by Business World and Indie Blogger. Indie Blogger is the most popular blogging platform among bloggers in India. It has thousands and thousands of bloggers who are connected over this platform. They are segregated by cities, by their genre. When I say genre, some are travel writers, some are write about their feelings, some write about socio-political conditions, some are photo bloggers, some write on business, some write on management, some write on education, and some write on healthcare. And so it gives a good perspective of how the areas are split. And some of the interesting findings of this report are very essential for all of you. So I thought best to start with that. Any questions before we start? All right. No. Okay. There is one question. Oh, there's no question. Okay. All well. Dr. Mamta, can you hear us now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I assume you can hear me. All right. So this was the number of blogs in the Indie Blogger database are close to 35,000 blogs. These are blog posts. The number of blog respondents for this survey was more than 1,000. So, you know, this is a bit of statistics for all of you, especially those of us who are from the medical background are slightly weak, supposedly not that strong in mathematics and not that strong in statistics. But essentially, to get a statistically significant result, you need to have more than 30 respondents. That's the rule of thumb. So any survey, primary research-based survey, needs to have 30 respondents. Now, in order to get a very good result, I mean, organizations, especially when I was at IBM, one of the criteria was that we should have more than 100 respondents for a survey, otherwise we won't take it seriously. Usually between 100 and 150 is considered good. So our dental survey, for example, has more than 144 respondents, which is pretty good. But this one had 1,059 plus respondents. That shows that it is a very, very in-depth analysis of the blogging scene in India. Will give you some very interesting insights. Some gyan on bloggers, that they are a brand by themselves. Don't worry too much about it, because in our case, we are not bloggers, right? We don't earn our living through blogging. Blogging is a medium for us to, whatever, generate more interest, build consensus, connect with others, share thought leadership, to enhance our practice. So what I'm going to tell you and the areas of this report will focus on are not necessarily the ones that will help you make your living. You are already making a fabulous living through your dental practice. This is only how we can enhance it. So, but there are a lot of people in India who actually blog for a living and they get paid. So that's again food for thought for you. Now, traditionally, somebody might ask me, why is this guy talking about blogging? Okay, that's how we jump the gun. Okay, so why is he talking about blogging? I mean, what's the growth? So that's in front of you. The growth of blogging has been phenomenal in this country, right? If you look at the olden days, when people used to rely on newspapers, used to rely on articles in magazine, and even from 2012 to 2013. This is a 2014 report. The 2015 report is not out. It's based on data from 2013, and there's a 48% increase in the number of blogs in India. This is India specifically, okay, not globally. Globally must be much higher. Clearly shows blog has become a very powerful medium for digital marketing and social media marketing in the coming days. As dentists, as businessmen, as entrepreneurs, as thought leaders, you should be aware of this growth and you should leverage it. Our dental survey shows that most dentists do not pay attention to blogs, and you could be one of the few differentiators who have blogs on various topics. Blah blah blah, lot of information on blog. what it really helps, forget about digital excitement, analysis. We're not going to get into analysis because we tried with Social Bro and all, and I think that's a bit too complicated at this stage. Maybe we can take an advanced session on analytics. I know Mayur was there in one of my sessions in Avagma, where we did a detailed analysis on blogs. But right now there is no analysis required for now. Now we'll focus on the basics, and later we will start looking at something more serious like analytics. But for now, the most important thing is for you is point number 3, getting the message out as credible sources. That's because even for dental information there'll be a lot of information out there which may or may not be valid, but I feel for now, for you, getting a blog out actually increases your credibility, not only within your local areas but also nationally and internationally. Provide information to potential customers. Obviously in healthcare we don't call them customers, patients. Yes, very important that somebody is researching about dental care and sees a blog by you on it. Obviously your information is increased, and also it can integrate well into your marketing models. So marketing models or marketing mix is nothing like, it's just like some of you have Facebook pages. This is another source, another mix into your marketing channels. Now this was interesting. Number of bloggers in India heavily skewed towards men. All social media channels in India are skewed towards men, and hardly 1/3 or 1/4 is actually women. No surprises for blogging as well. Now, number of blogs by language, 88% of blogs are in English, very few in vernacular. In vernacular, obviously Hindi is number 1, Tamil is number 2, and Marathi, Malayalam and Telugu are significant presence as well. What I would recommend, if you do set up a blog, and I'll explain to you how you can do that, the easiest way of doing it, try an English based blog, because I suspect that those of us who seek dental care in India, in the cities, are English speaking or do also speak English. And vernacular medium, if you are really focused on the rural practice, then you should probably look at vernacular, but right now I'd like to focus on English only. Bloggers by age, again, more younger bloggers from 25 to 35, and that's not because of any, okay, we have a question. Let's take the question first. Yeah, so Dinesh, website is actually serious matter. A website will have a lot of moving parts. It is slightly different. A blog can be used as a website as well, but essentially a blog is a medium to share information. So just to give a background, blog came from the word log. You log in details, like you have diaries, or you have in the Navy and all, they used to have captain's log, where captain will write his daily whatever happened, what he saw, etc. So a blog is nothing but a log, which is obviously digital in this case. So a website is much more serious business. It has a lot of moving parts. It is not only content, it has a lot of, for example, a website will have contact information, a website might have an e-commerce portal for you to buy something, a website might have videos and things like that, which are arranged page by page. But a blog is essentially a collection of content that you want to update some people about. I hope that answers your question. Okay. So what I was saying was, don't look at the age groups essentially as people, because younger people are more inclined to blogs. No, that's not the case. Essentially what has happened is the advent of social media, the advent of digital marketing, the advent of internet has been higher, and the age group of 25 to 35 is more exposed to it right now, and they are the ones who are blogging more seriously. And remember, a lot of these bloggers are professional bloggers. They get money for blogging. The ones who are much younger, the 18 to 25 age group is just there to have fun, and you see very few plus 45 bloggers, very few under 18 bloggers, and a significant chunk which is 35 to 45, not much, but this bunch from 25 to 35 is probably the largest bunch, right? Okay, so these are the top topics, most blogged about topics, and look, the reason I chose this topic today is because of this interesting health is one of the most blogged about topics in India today. So food and drink, I think travel is very popular in India, and so are movies. In the larger cities, tech news is important and gadgets are important. These are, kind of evergreen topics. A lot of political blogs in India. Needless to say, we have a political circus going on. But health is a very, very important point. It is growing, and later I'll show you what is the growth in healthcare, in health-related topics is much higher. Now, if you look at the comparison in blogging categories, look at the growth in health. Travel, okay, so two things you need to watch out for. When I say growth, the base for travel, books, food and drink is very high, and the growth is lesser because already there are so many blogs on the topic. Health, relatively lesser number of blogs, but obviously elections was high because we had a general election the very next year, so a lot of focus on elections. But 90% growth in healthcare related blogs. Now that is a significant number, and you have to really swim with the tide, stay with the tide, and understand that that means a lot of your competitors or other dentists are also looking at blogging. Not everybody who blogs on health is a doctor, so there might be others who have worked in the healthcare industry, have perspectives on it, or are consumers of healthcare, have somebody in the family who's sick, things like that. But health as a topic has increased tremendously, and you should take advantage of that situation. Is everybody with me so far? Any questions as of now? Okay, I will move on. Now, this is another interesting topic that I thought would be very interesting for you to observe, is the rate of growth of social networks. So if you see, Twitter is a 27% growth. Google Plus, they couldn't calculate the growth because it didn't exist in 2012. Delicious actually went down, so it is dying as a platform. Dig, no growth at all. Don't waste your time. This is all India related news, right? And then you look at things like Pinterest, which we haven't discussed actually, but Pinterest is a very, very important platform if you have images. 118% growth, a tremendous growth for Pinterest. It just kind of slowed down now, but in 2013-14, Pinterest was one of the hottest properties. Then Facebook continues to grow in India. Flickr 5% growth, LinkedIn 38% growth. So pretty much gives you an idea of the change in the use of social networks. Not surprisingly, in our dental survey we found a heavy usage of Facebook and almost negligible usage of the all other platforms put together, including Twitter. Not too many people were interested. These are all gaps, I would say. It doesn't indicate anything. It indicates that there's a gap in the market and we should go and occupy it. Geography, just to give you a perspective of, you are from different places. Rest of India 40%, Bangalore 12, Mumbai 12, Chennai 10, Delhi NCR 8, and then you can see the distribution as for the other major cities. So Bombay and Bangalore today constitute the largest number of blogs and blogging platforms in the world today, in India today. And rest of India and world, these are people from very small places, other places not mentioned, and then that's 40%, not surprising. So the 4 metros put together are almost equal to the rest of India, or slightly more actually, which is a pretty interesting result. Global bloggers versus Indian bloggers, again very interesting stats here. Uh, Influence purchase for Indian bloggers is higher than global bloggers. That means when Indian people in India write about write about a topic on blog, the conversion of that person to purchase is much higher. Indian bloggers are able to monetize, that is generate money from the blogs, not important for us. We use more videos, we use lesser images, which is very interesting, and we write less. Maybe we're lazy, I don't know. But we write less than the Westerners or the global bloggers, but we do influence purchase decisions much more, and we make money off the blogs, which is very fascinating. Not important for us right now, but this gives you a perspective. If you want, I'll go into the details, but this is not relevant to us at all. So I'm going to skip this slide. As you said, a lot of 56% of the blogs in India influence buying decision. In your case, you know, after reading your blog, a prospective patient might actually walk into the clinic and seek treatment, which is like if 10 people see it, 5 to 6 might walk into your clinic and seek treatment. That's the statistic. We have to check. It differs from industry to industry, city to city, town to town. Okay, we have. Is my voice breaking? Very interesting. Mayur, is my voice breaking?
It's all clear here, sir.
Okay. Okay, so Dinesh, I think you have network issues. Are you on Idea or are you on Airtel? Sorry, Idea does Idea have broadband? I'm not sure. But anyway, just try switching off some process. If your some other application is running on your computer, just try switching it off. All right. Not going to go into this. This is how you monetize a blog through AdSense or using, you know, networks, affiliate programs, AdBright. So affiliate program is nothing but, you know, you have somebody who sponsors you to write content, and the content can be bought. I mean that link is there on one of your websites, and can come to your website, look at that content, and then go to the partner site and buy. And Amazon is the highest for as far as affiliate programs are concerned, followed by Flipkart right now. Again, this is not a very significant result for us as dentists. So this would give you an idea of where your traffic sources are going to come from. So 31% are coming from people who already follow you either on the blog or on social media. 30% is search traffic, which is either through search engine optimization or paid search. Then family and friends 25% and others 14%. But this is interesting. The platform that is most popular today is in India is Blogspot, and we are going to look at how to set up a Blogspot blog just after this. Not only because it's easy, it's cheap, it's convenient, it is also hassle-free. If you are slightly more complicated, you want to challenge, WordPress would be an interesting alternative. If you really want to try something crazy, go for self-hosted. I have self-hosted blogs, and I think so does Dr. Mayur, but it's too much of a headache right now. So I would recommend you look at Blogspot, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up a Blogspot blog. What happens in blogs? You know, there is poetry, short stories, published blog, guest blog posts. This is how you get more and more content onto your blog. And some use a blog role, that is something like an indie blogger. A lot of people blog anonymously, they don't use their names. I don't know, I don't understand this problem. Maybe it's the summer. Started losing power very often, and then generator takes about a few seconds to kick in, but the software has to reload again, I guess. All right. Now this is an interesting stat. So sorry, we were on. This is not important for us, so we don't want to spend too much time on it. But this portion is important, not the left portion, but the right portion. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. There are a lot of people who blog daily or once a week. But if you look at the most common ways of updating a blog, it's once in 15 days, once a month, or once in 2 months. 21% are infrequent. So essentially, a lot of these blogs are, dead properties. There are a lot of dead blogs there. People wake up one fine day, get excited, write a blog, and then they don't update it ever. So we're going to look at some interesting stats as well for blogging. But before I do that, if you have no further questions on this report or the state of blogging in India, and if I've convinced you that blogging is the thing for you, let's get into how we can set up a blog, right? So standard browser, I'm using Mozilla. You can use Chrome. Please don't use Internet Explorer. It has to catch up quite a lot. And if I type blogger.com, and you will get a screen that looks like this. And this is essentially I'm already logged in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log off from my mails, and that's when it will allow me to just hold on. So I've signed off from my mail and sign off from my other mail. Now I've signed out from every mail. Now let me go and sign out from here. And it says, should I add an account? Choose any account. You have to have a Google Gmail ID. You have to have a Gmail ID to use Blogger. That's rule number 1. If you're using Yahoo or something, it sometimes creates confusion or auto creates a Google ID. Better to use a Gmail ID. So I say, okay, I want to use this, and I'm going to put in the password. So I'm going to save and continue. It asks for 1000 security things. So now I'm going to use Blogger. So I'm going to blogger.com. So I'm going to create a brand new blog from scratch because I don't want it to. So I'm going to say new blog. Now minute it says new blog. Is everybody with me so far? Any questions? Okay. Okay, there is a question. Screen blank. You can't see my screen? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay. So Dinesh, I think either your internet provider is creating confusion for you, or just try to keep track. So I'll say a new blog. So I'm going to name it a dental diary, right? And address will be. I'm just giving this as an example. I'm trying to delete it right away. I'm never going to use this blog. So I'm going to say www uh, dental diary, dental, oh, I'm not going to put A, I'm going to put enter diary dot blogspot.com, right? And it's asking me for template. What template should I use? So I'm going to say I'm going to use a simple template. Okay. Okay. So I need to have an address. I think this address is already taken. So I'm going to say okay. So this is not available. So I'm going to say dental diary .com. Okay, this is also not available. I can add a custom domain later. Okay. Even that is not available. It's pretty interesting. It's not letting me create a new blog for some strange reason. Just one second. I think we might have some issues. If you look at this, this is my older blog. This is what it looks like. Let's try to create a new blog. Sorry guys, just give me a few seconds. I will solve this problem. Okay, sorry. My mistake. sometimes you are so good. Okay, so it's not available. Or dental diary. Okay, Indian dental diary. Okay, so Indian dental diary is available. So any of you want this, pick it up right away. So sorry for that confusion. It was don't add www in front because Google will notify itself to the World Wide Web. It doesn't allow you to do it. So Indian dental diary .blogspot.com is available. If any of you want it, register it right now, and you can create. So should I go ahead and create a blog? Is that okay? Otherwise, we will not be able to get into the nitty-gritties, right? So I'm creating the blog, and sorry for that confusion. It just mine was not working at the right time, and let's see what happens. I hope it doesn't. Okay, Indian dental diary is up and running. So when you log in, this is the page you will see. Yeah, I know. The brain just stops working at the critical time. So this is the page you will see, which shows overview, post, pages, comments, Google Plus, stats, earnings, campaign, layout, template, settings, etc. So if you want to blog, either go through new post or go through here, click on new post, and you will get a scenario where this is your title, whatever, this is the content in the title, normal text. What all can you do? So this is font. You can change the fonts from here. You can change the size of the text. You can make it heading, subheading, minor heading, or normal, bold, italics, underline, strike through, color of the font, text, highlighting, any hyperlink you want to add, pictures, videos, more, so that you insert a jump break and people have to click for more. Alignment, very simple. So this is almost like using Windows. That's why people like Blogger, and that has 70% of the Indian market because it's very comfortable. So this is the simplest platform to start your blogging journey. See, I like Dr. Dinesh because he gets to the point directly. He says, don't teach me how to write a blog. I know how to write. Now you tell me how I can get people to read my blog. Yeah, I'll tell you how to promote. You have to promote your blog. You have to invite people, yes. There are a couple of ways. You can obviously be, people can find you easily, or you'll have to invite them. I'll tell you how you can do that. You can type whatever. Labels is essentially tags. Now, Dr. Dinesh, this is one of the ways you can, people can find you. Tag your blog posts, say, whatever, Pune dentist, or in your case, I think Gurgaon dentist, your topic, what are you writing about, and a few keywords. Schedule, like I taught you in TweetDeck, you can schedule your post. That is, you write the post and you say at this time and this date it should go up. Permalink is your permalink for your blog post, which you can share. You can either custom or you can do automatic, which comes along with it. Location, just to add where are you from, it'll say, Google will say they want to know your location, so you can add wherever, Gurgaon, Delhi, wherever you are based. And options and other options you have, reader comments to allow, not allow, compose mode, line breaks, etc. Very, very simple, not complicated at all. I would better not use HTML mode because that's more of the coding language. Use a text mode. Very, very simple to publish a blog, right? Any questions on how to create a blog post, a blog, set up a blog and start posting? Any questions? I'll give a 2-minute break, or not 2 minutes, I mean a few seconds. Okay, no questions, so I'm going to move on. Now, what else can you do with your blog, right? You know how to set up a blog, you know what words to use. Now let's go to this is what the blog looks like right now, and it's got my profile which is picked up from Google. I'll go to design. Good question. Ideal time to write a blog in India. You know, generally it is, you should check. I mean, there are few tools which give you that, and if you had gone through with that demo of Social Blog, you would have figured out at least from a Twitter perspective when is my best time to blog. But we should technically avoid Sunday, weekends. Weekends is a bad time. Monday is bad and Friday is bad. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the best time to post a blog post, okay, to make it live. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully in somewhere in the morning around 10, 10:30, 11. But to write, I mean, the best time to write is whenever you're free, which is probably over the weekend. That's why the schedule feature is very, very important. You can write on Sunday or Saturday whenever you have time, or one of the mornings when you have time, and make it live on a Wednesday, say, morning, so that people can read it. I will teach you about promotion after that, but right now let's concentrate on the blog dynamics. What can you do? How can you design your blog? Now we had a very simple blog right now, and we want to make it more jazzy. So I'm going to say this is our current format. I'm going to say let me apply this format now. So can I see my blog now? I'm going to view it in a different tab so that I don't have to keep opening, closing tabs. So this is what my blog looks like now. Because there's not much post, not much change, so this is what it looks like. This is how it looks on a mobile phone. So Google gives you the opportunity to view your blog, how it look on a computer versus a mobile phone. Now the same thing, you can apply this. Now suddenly if you see your blog has become black, you can apply the red template. Now what if this is too simple for me and I want something even more jazzy? Google has a solution for that as well. Yeah, good question. Blogger is a Google undertaking now. Can we expect that post appears on the very first few pages during a Google search? Yes and no. See, yes, because you know it's Google and Google will try to place Google on top of WordPress. But let's not forget 70% of the world uses Google, that is Blogger. So it's not really that much of an advantage. I've heard some very professional bloggers tell me that if they use Blogger along with Google Plus regularly, then your search results start going up. So that's a good option. But remember, half the world is on Blogger, so it doesn't really create a big difference. Had it been just a few on Blogger and mostly others on something else, then it would have made a big difference. But that's not the case. Everybody starts off on Blogger. Everybody starts on Blogger. Even I started on Blogger before I moved to my own custom hosting platform. So anyway, so that's a good question. And if anybody has any other questions, please ask them right away so that we can accommodate them as we go along. So look at, so these are all simple blog templates, very simple. But suppose you want to make it more jazzy, you want some more jazz in it. So I'll say, okay, fine, you know what, I don't want a simple view, I want a dynamic view. So Google has a provision for that. It is called dynamic view, and if you come to this, you'll see this is what dynamic view looks like. So you can go Flipkart, not Flipkart, Flipkart. That it will have different cards. Dynamic views, remember, occupy more bandwidth and they take some time to load. So you have to be slightly patient with that platform. It's still loading. Anyway, we don't have that much time, so we're going to excuse ourselves. Let's look at this. This is a Flipkart, so I'm not so I can keep switching. So I switch, the cards will switch. I don't like this either. Let me go with Mosaic. It's like tiles. Magazine, sorry. So it'll read out like an online magazine. If I cut this out, I'm going to say, you know what, apply it to the blog. Now suddenly my template would change here, and your blog now looks like this. It's more of a magazine look. I can also try this look, which is Mosaic, sorry, which is these are the tile look. So the minute you come near it, it rises up and you can click it. I can try the sidebar look, which is slightly different as well. I don't know why it's not loading from here, but I can load it from here. Now sidebar, what happens is all your posts appear on the right hand side, and you have to just choose them, and they will, whichever you choose. This is the only one that we have written, so it kind of appears here. Then there is the the snapshot look, which you know, obviously there were no images, so it says no post found. For the snapshot look to work, you need to have images in your blog post, so those images will be visible very prominently. And this is the final look, which is the timeline look. It goes by the first blog post comes last, and the latest will come up front. But all the blog posts will be in a series of order. Then there are some other styles as well. There's travel, there's ethereal, watermark, awesome. Awesome has some very good. I mean, if you're especially if you're in lifestyle or fashion blogging, awesome works very well. You know, some of the designs there are simply brilliant. So that's an option too, if in case you're looking for some more jazz, or it goes with your personality or something like that. So any questions on this? Very simple. Just choose a nice name, choose blogger, don't bother with anything else, choose a good theme, and start writing. Now, what is the frequency of a blog? Now I feel a good blog post is not more than 500 words, because it's your perspective, and try to keep it as simple as possible, because you know, in dental surgery we can really complicate things by calling, you know, using our complicated names. But try to make it as simple as possible, because remember, 90% of the people reading your blog posts are not going to be dentists. They're going to be very normal. Not that dentists are not normal, but I'm saying they're non-medicos and non-dentists. So keep it within 500 words. Try to blog at least once a week once you have created your blog post. Now let me apply this to my blog and see what else can I do. Can I do anything else? Can I integrate? How do I promote it? Like Dr. Dinesh brought up a very good point. How do I promote my blog post, right? I have a blog post. How do I promote it? So I'm going back to design, and I want to figure out. Now I've got my template in line, no issues. Now I'm going to look at layout. So this is how my layout looks like. Layout is your tab here. Now I'm saying, you know what, I have a very good blog post. I'm happy with the template. Let me work on the layout. So I'll say add a gadget, these are ready because Blogger is a very simple platform, so you don't have to really worry about it. What can I add? You know what? Let me add Twitter. I'm saying give me an icon for Twitter. So I have tweet pick, uptweet, Twitter updates. So I can have all my Twitter related gadgets here. I can add my own, that if I have a URL for a gadget, I can add that. I won't recommend all of you to indulge in this. So we're going to add a very simple gadget. I'm going to add a Google Plus button. Right now I go back to my blog, so I see a Google Plus button. So anybody who likes your post can Google Plus it. I'll say okay, let me look at, I mean, you just have to tinker around. This is just a preview. So I shut it and I'll say okay, I want to add another gadget, and what will that be? Follow by email. So what happens is, if somebody just puts in their email address, the minute you blog, your posts reach him. Very simple, very effective. I mean, you don't need to. So this is how you promote your blogs, right? So you send it to people, you promote it on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or all your social platforms, on Google Plus. Put it on your visiting cards, put it on your prescription pads. Very important. So you can go on, adding gadgets like this. You can turn this around. You don't need to have the same layout. You can look at different layouts. For example, let me say that I don't want to use this layout, and I want to change column widths. So my blog is already, I want to change my layout. So this is the current layout, but I want a layout like this. I can go here. Now everything follows in one straight line. And this is my footer layout that is below. It looks like this. I can change the below portion to like this. Just 3 in the line below. I can keep it both ways. Like in between is my blog post, and I have gadgets on both sides. So very simple. You can just have to plug and play. Very convenient. I think it's very fruitful as well. So I would recommend all of you to start experimenting with blogs as well. Just create a very simple blog, and then try to put in a blogger name. Try to find areas of interest that you can blog on. Find interesting dental articles that you can give your perspective on, right? And don't make it very serious. Blogging is slightly fun, so don't make it very serious, and don't explain procedures. Don't write like 2 pages on one procedure. It will not work. But try new things, anything new you did. Add pictures, before after pictures, make great viewing, and always share your blog link on other social media. If you share a blogger like what Dr. Mayur was saying, blogger on Google Plus works very well, right? So any questions on blogging, anything else that you would want to know about blogging that I missed out, or you had heard, or you have misconceptions, or you heard something good which you would want to share, let me know. We'll address them right away. All right, we have another question. All good? Great, Dr. Dinesh. Any questions from anybody else? Okay, all good from everywhere. All right. So I'm going to move to another topic now, which is essentially extension of what we were, last part that I want to leave everybody with. Now, if you remember during TweetDeck, I had explained to you that I'll tell you tips on how you can increase interaction, engagement, get more people to follow you, and get more people to interact with you on Twitter and other platforms. Let me look at this. So I'll say, okay, let's create a tweet, and we'll say using so I'm just creating a tweet. Now this is not entirely inaccurate. This is just based on our survey. So I'm saying, did you know? So I'm going to say retweet if you knew, right? Like, no, sorry, favorite here. Right? So I'm saying, did you know that almost 30% of dentists in India use social media? Actually, that's a wrong statement, for work. Right? Retweet if you knew, and favorite if you were surprised like me. Somehow my brain's not working today. It's just slow. I'm gone slow today. Anyway, so what have I done? I'm forcing my audience to take action, and one of the actions I'm forcing them to take is to retweet or favorite, right? Favorite button, if you remember, was this, and retweet was this. So I'm going to add one more. So I'm forcing my audience to take action now. I'm saying, did you know that 30% of dentists in India use social media for work? Retweet if you know, favorite if not, reply if you want to know. I want to say more. I've run out of space, but reply if you want to know. And I'm going to use both my handles because it's a healthcare related post, and I'm going to tweet. And now this is a dangerous experiment. I don't know if anybody is watching this platform and at this time, so let's see. But this is a good example of how you can create. Oh, Dr. Mayur immediately found it, and he favorited it, that he did not know this. But this is a great example of how you can get more and more people to respond to your comments, right? In case you want people to come and respond to your comments, tell them what to do. What do they expect? And it's very important if you tell them, because then they will take that action. And then you can probably start your interactions. Is everybody clear what I did here, right? And we'll do the same thing here again. So we'll go to Facebook. So immediately somebody added me to that list called sociables. Obviously Dr. Mayur has replied here. We'll keep checking it in a while. We might get something else, we might get nothing. So I'm on this and I'm going to say, did you know that 30% of dentists use social media for work? Right? So now here the funda is slightly different because it's Facebook. You have like, comment and share. So I'm going to say like if you knew. Like if you knew. Comment if you are surprised. And share if you want to know more. Right? Very simple actions. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially forcing people to take action, right? And I need to add a picture, but I don't have a picture handy, so I'm going to just go with it. Okay, it's a bit of a risk. Usually pictures do well. And actually I can do that. You know what I'll do? I'm going to go to dental pictures, right? And I'm going to go to images, and I'm going to go for this is important. Whenever you use pictures, always look at pictures that are labeled for reuse. I did not find any, which is why Yahoo search is so crap, and I don't know why Mozilla shifted to Yahoo search. So I go to Google search, dental pictures, and I'm going to images, and I'm going to search tools. You're watching what I'm doing, and I'm going to go for usage rise, and I'm going to say labeled for reuse, because I don't want to take a copyrighted picture, and I don't want any scary dental pictures like this one, which is very funny. So I'm going to take this one, right? It's kind of funny, and I'm going to save images. So you'll always get these images that are, you know, free. My God. Some people are having fun. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to stick this image in here, and post. Later we will check how they did, right? Let's go back to Twitter. So you can see there is some traction, right? So this is what happens when you force people to take action. You know, immediately you will see that people cannot. I mean, if you tell somebody to get up, even if you didn't know him, and you walk into a room and this guy's sitting, you're asking, can you please get up? This guy will get up first, and then he'll ask you, why are you asking me to get up, right? So usually that's how it works. It's a very human thing. So what we have done essentially is we've forced people to take action, and I'm sure even on Facebook you will see some traction, or later I can send you some. So even I said like, comment or share, and sooner than later immediately you will see some action. So that's one. Very useful for creating traction, very useful if you give them directions, right? The other thing was The other thing I want to tell you is about Google search and images. Uh-oh. So let's get off it because I don't want a conversation when I'm on a webinar. But you get what I'm trying to say. The other is about Google search. Again, just explain to you how I found that image. If you ever want to use images on social media, on your blogs, anywhere, look for Google first. Don't go for Yahoo. Yahoo has a tie-up with Flickr and one more channel, and these are mostly paid images. There are no free images. So I'm going to go for search tools, and sorry, I'm going to go to images, and I'm going to go to search tools, and I'm going to say usage rights and pick the best middle one, labeled for reuse, and you'll get the images that have not been copyrighted, or somebody doesn't expect royalty because you used this image, right? So when that happens, you can use that image. Any questions on this process? Thank you for the retweets, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Mayur, and everybody else. Any questions on this process? Okay, unusually very quiet today, right? Usually our crowd is not that quiet. So it's either the heat or the sleepiness. Just 2 questions. Oh, attendees, yeah, I know, because I guess it's the exam phobia, you know. I said there's going to be a quiz after this, and I think people decided, you know what, I don't want to give a quiz today, too much stress. So, and I'm assuming that's the case, and I'm just kidding. I don't know what's the case. All right, last 13 minutes, so let's make them count. Any I think we've discussed Twitter, we've discussed LinkedIn, we've discussed Facebook, we've discussed blogs, we've discussed strategies that will make us very successful. Dr. Mayur has a very good point. He's saying summer vacations have started and all the dentist parents have left with their kids on holidays, which is very true. Very true. So it's a great time if you're a child, and a tough time if you're a parent, summer vacations. Okay. It's affecting business also, slack season. That's why we held the webinar at slack season, right? You can implement all this, and by the time the parents are back, you can be on social in full flow, on blog, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. All right. So what we'll do is last about 10-12 minutes, let's look very quickly at Pinterest. We have not done Pinterest, right? Or is there anything else you want to discuss? Otherwise, I'm going to go to Pinterest and just walk you through what is so exciting about this new platform. Okay, you're doing Pinterest. So I'm going to log in with Facebook. I haven't seriously logged in for a while. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check if there are any I don't want the app. Okay, so it recognizes me. So I'm going to search for dentists. So as you can see, there are quite a few dentists here, but I'll be very surprised if they are from India, because as a platform, Pinterest has not really taken up in India. So people have used art, images, pictures. It requires a bit of work, so I'm sure that these dentists who are using Pinterest or have their practice on Pinterest, they are they have an agency or they have somebody doing their design work. And as always, humor, pictures, uh, teeth on shoes. Very interesting. So this is stuff like this that really works well on Pinterest, which is essentially images, not so much text. Yeah, you can pin. So Dr. Dinesh, yes, you can pin. So for example, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to pin it on my page. And these are the boards I have. Bangalore highway, cars in the past. I'm going to say dentist, and I'm going to create a board. So it's gone to my board. Now if I actually go to my profile, so right now I was on the equivalent of a Facebook page. I'm in Facebook now I'm going to my own profile, and if you see, these are the things I look at. And where is dentist? Yeah, dentist is here. It's the latest one. So I can, yeah, you can copy paste just like yeah, exactly, Dr. Mayur. So I think the key with Pinterest, I mean, it requires a bit more thought than Facebook, to be honest. A little bit more work. It needs somewhat of a creative bent of mind, a little bit of design knowledge, and some patience with photographs, etc. But if you really think through it, you can you can actually leverage this platform very well. It is one of the fastest growing platforms, has more women than men anyway, because of the high dependency of this platform on fashion. So I have 61 followers. I follow 80 people. I've never paid interest to this platform, so it's pretty much meandered along because I don't have any absolute dire need right now to do this. But you can create boards. So you can create a board for dentists. I tried doing some things, like I did this. I was looking at interesting houses, and this one came along in Japan, I think. Yeah, it's called Lucky Drops from Japan. So I thought, I'll create a pin full of houses. It didn't work. But if you go back to our original discussion around dentists, and if you see the interactions, oh sorry. Yeah, into the wrong search window. And if you come to, if you actually see the platform, it is, I think, a very interesting platform, and I think it makes sense for you to start looking at it as well. Humor works, creative design works. Some very interesting designs here. I mean, I'm just thinking, would you like to give us a tooth like this? Where was that? As to your dentist as a Happy New Year or as a keychain or something like that. This is actually a necklace. I don't know how many people will wear a tooth on their necklace, but interesting. I thought this was very interesting. So I don't know, Dr. Mayur, if from dental photography perspective, what do you think of this? Very interesting plant growing in a tooth-shaped flower pot. Yeah, you can actually. If you look at all of these, eventually they have their own website. This picture is actually from Flickr. I think this is about water fluoridation. So it actually takes you back to this a dental clinic. So all of them are hyperlinked, but these are the guys who created it, so they are not repinning stuff. Yeah, you can redirect people back to your website and back to oh my god, this is how a dental clinic used to look like. Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know how many of you watched Bomkesh Bakshi the other day. The Japanese dentist had this in his clinic, which is a foot operated rotor machine. I don't know how easy or difficult it was to drill a tooth or to make a dovetail with a machine like this. Can we create your own website image pic on Pinterest? See, the thing is, Dr. Mayur, all these pictures on Pinterest are copyrighted by whoever has created them or whoever has taken them. So when you say website pic, you mean can you take a picture from here and post it on your website? I don't know the answer to that, but look at this. It is basically promoting a website. So basically this Glidewell Dental Lab has created it, and these are also the other people who are putting dental related posts, and most of them are dentists. So it's pretty interesting. But again, in India, there's hardly anybody on Pinterest, so you're way ahead of the curve, and if you want to look at it very effectively, I think you should. So are there any more questions on anything, any of the previous topics on Pinterest, on blogging? Okay, then what we'll do is we'll probably close the session here. Oh, there is a question. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Oh, one tool to post on multiple platforms. Yeah, we can do that, but it will be slightly complicated. I was thinking, after Social Grow, we'll do Hootsuite. Hootsuite is probably the best right now. One tool that can definitely post on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. If you want, we can. I can create a very short tutorial on it, or we can do a very small session later. It will require at least half an hour to get to understand that platform. Slightly complicated. Yeah, you can use Instagram as well, but Hootsuite has certain advantages over Instagram. Instagram, you need an image. If you don't have an image, then you are pretty much done. So how are you going to post if there are no images there? If you want to use something else, so Hootsuite is slightly better from that angle. Okay, fine. Let's just let me know. We can do a very short session. All right. So we'll do another session, say maybe 30 minutes later, for Hootsuite and versus Instagram. Let's look at both of them. Instagram, obviously, you can only see it from a mobile device. Doesn't have a web interface. So Hootsuite works both from your phone as well as from your from the laptop, and that you can use. All right, okay, gentlemen. So thank you very much for your time all these weeks, and I will and we'll be sending you the quiz in some time. It will be slightly tough, so just be careful, and let me know if you want that small session on Hootsuite. We'll set up another time, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you on social. Already I see a lot of traction. A lot of you have started tweeting regularly, so hopefully you'll be among the pioneers, at least among the dentists in India. So all the very best, and yeah, absolutely. Very good idea. I think that we can give that as homework. Look at Hootsuite, experiment it with yourself. Thank you. You're welcome, Dr. Dinesh. Dr. Dinesh says thank you for the great introduction to social media. This is very basic actually. So experiment with all of them. The more you use them, more comfortable you get. It's like the phantom head labs in second year of dental college. The more you experiment, the better you get. So all the very best, and hopefully we will be bumping into each other a lot on social media. Watch out for the report. We will send it out to you as well. Some very interesting stats there. So in all, thank you very much for your time, and see you soon. Bye for now.